Miss Kamie, you never said how. It's how many. And how you get them is, however. And, you weren't picky on who. And Katie Longwell really today, I mean, kind of I don't want to say unsung, but, somebody you wouldn't have expected from the outside looking in just to keep firing like that. Not only keep firing, but she couldn't miss. She was on fire. I mean, and I know, we had a game earlier in the season where you put up a lot of threes, and you just joke said, I don't think we'll be putting up that many threes, but 34 is a lot of them. That's okay if they're going in, huh?
Yeah. I just think it's an amazing, the game is an amazing thing. Like, you just feel rotten so bad and feel good about some of the shots you take, and you lose and you're just devastated, and then all of a sudden every shot goes in and you feel like $1 million. And Katie had that same exact experience. She got in the game the last game and had 2 turnovers fast and had, I think, a miss and had, a terrible 4 minutes, and then she doesn't get a chance until tonight. And she gets her chance tonight, and she just made the most of it. And that's the breaks of the game. When you come off the bench, you usually have to provide something, right away and help your team in some way. And, I think obviously she's not on anyone's scouting report, but she's getting to the point where she knows how she can affect the game and help us as a sub-point guard, and whether that's kind of creating a basket for somebody else off the bounce, or, if she's making threes, it's great for us, especially on a night where Kylie doesn't start the game incredibly well, and Courtney really doesn't either, but you make up for it when Katie goes 5 for 5.
Well, and then I mentioned to the girls, too, that Deshara got some foul trouble and set out quite a while, but, man, they never, lost the rhythm or the pace they were in when she was out.
Yeah, I think that's a big statement for us. And it's good for me as a coach to really, it just keeps going back to, I need to rest Dee Dee. I need to make sure she doesn't play those minutes that are just too many at a time. And because I do think she loses a little bit when she has to be out there too long. And this gives us a lot of confidence too. We went with a really big lineup. We did some things that were a little bit unorthodox with Amber and Steph and Becca in at the same time, and we were fine doing that. So again, it's a night where we really shared the ball. The stat that is just amazing to me is 29 assists on 33 baskets, and that's exactly the kind of basketball we want to play, and we were just very fortunate that the ball went in a lot.
This is the kind of performance I think you expect from this bunch, and also the kind of performance you expect against a lesser opponent. I mean, you'll take this kind of performance if it's against, the top of the conference too. But against a lesser opponent, I think they really showed this. This is where we're at. This is where the gap really is. We're closer to that bunch than we are this bunch.
Well, I think that the league's proving out that still right now there's just a big clump right in the middle, and we certainly have shown what we aren't capable of. We've lost some games that were very winnable games, and struggled in so many ways offensively. And I do think this is more what we're capable of, but I don't know how to get them to duplicate this. I felt very good about our team over and over and over, and sometimes we get a good performance, and then we go out the next time. You compliment them, and then they go out, and then they lay an egg the next time. So I know they feel great about how they played and how they shared the ball. And if this can't give us some confidence going forward, I'm not exactly sure what can. But again, you got to go on the road now, and we've got a tough road ahead of us because we've lost some games at home, and we're still struggling to even make the tournament. So we've really got to take care of ourselves and give ourselves a chance to be in that tournament.
They talked about yesterday was a hard practice.
They did?
Yeah. They said the message was pretty deliberate. It was straightforward mental toughness. Did you get to a point where you finally realized, they said you were in their ears, and maybe a little more than what you normally would like to, just because it felt like, at some point some people need a swift kick to get rolling. Do you feel like that's where you were at yesterday with them?
Well, it's like you asked me a long time ago, what do I do after the game? And I stayed up and watched the game. And I don't think they did. So I had a bad taste in my mouth for sure when we had an early practice that next day. And I don't think there's no magic formula. You know, and you asked about that the last time. We just have to go to work. You just have to walk in the gym and not feel sorry for yourself. And I think the two things that I told them after the game that I said that I wasn't going to accept anymore, and not that I think it's prevalent in our gym, but I'd gotten a bad vibe over the last couple of weeks of us not finishing practice well. And I think that's a statement about our senior leadership. I thought we almost always start practice well, and then we had a couple of days where we dropped off. And I really said I'm going to throw people out of the gym if they bring us down. I'm going to quit.
Like intensity dropping towards the end of practice?
One or two individuals kind of loses their focus and makes the team go down. And I'm not going to put up with that anymore. That's what I said. I'm not going to waste my time on those people because they just make me mad when I concentrate on them, and it's really not the whole team. It's just one or two that gets me irritated. So if I can get, and then the second thing is I wanted energy in our gym from here on out. I wanted great talk. We were starting to, in that game the other night, a couple of our seniors really weren't talking good to the rest of the team when they were on the bench. And so those are really simple things to fix, and it is all about your attitude and your investment to our team and empowering our team when you come to practice and when you play. And again, I thought we had a great practice for those two areas, and I got their attention because we just are going to run. The only way I know how to get them to understand what their mistake is to make them go off to the side and run. And they usually fix that mistake, and that doesn't happen again. And we do that all the time. It's just, it was a shorter practice, but it was very much a running practice, and we haven't done that a lot in between games. So maybe that's what they're talking about. But I don't think there's any way to take the foot off the gas now. I don't think we can get better we're shortening practice, but we can't lose our intensity. And at this point, I wasn't concerned about getting them tired before today's game. I just wanted an hour and a half of great practice and great energy and us getting better and not settling for 31% shooting and mistakes.
This doesn't seem to be a bunch, though, that will settle for mediocrity.
It's not. I don't know that we settle. Well, it's not. I don't know that that's the term. I think that the problem this group has is we aren't great competitors. Like in the heat of the moment, when someone punches you in the face and challenges you, or you make a mistake, how do you respond? And we are sensitive to this group is. They're very sensitive to their mistakes, and they're very worried about their mistakes, and they want to be good in all those areas, and they get emotionally attached to the wrong things. And you need a bulldog mentality that won't give in, won't let the last play affect the next one, other than that just makes me more mad and I'm more determined and I'm going to be better this next possession, and that will never happen again. And those kinds of things, we don't quite have that leadership from our key players. And so they don't want mediocrity, but they settle because they're thinking about things that aren't helping our team get better. And we just need those kinds of leaders that are always forward thinking and always empowering in their thinking.
Talk just a half a second about your defense, especially in the second half. I'm looking at Southern Utah, 20.7% from the field. And, some of that I'm sure they were trying to at least keep it close to stay in the hunt, but I don't think your kids led up at the other end either, even though they were bombs away at the offensive end.
Yeah, I'm sure they just got discouraged too, and they missed some easy shots. But I thought our one-on-one defense in their post and our doubling when they did catch the ball really bothered. They didn't get those easy baskets at the rim so much, other than their second chance points. But and I think we really guarded the ball on the perimeter well. So when they did duck their head to get to the basket, they ran into somebody and it didn't create a shot for anybody. So again, I think this team is making great strides on the defensive end. If we can just clean up the boards, the second chance points, I think we can be a very dominant defensive team.